An airline pilot was prevented from financial ruin because a friend encouraged him to acquire a parcel of land and to build. I'll never forget this story because the pilot told me the story himself. He had just been retired by the airline. Suddenly, and he said he would have been ruined but for the fact that he had an asset that had been appreciating for years. He told me decades before, his close friend had said to him, look, I'm trying to buy land somewhere. Come along with me. Let's go look at it. They drove to the outskirts of Lagos, Nigeria. They drove out. He said it was bush. It was bush, okay? And they had to leave the road. They parked the car by the road and walked into the bush to get to that tract of land. And his friend said, so I'm buying land here. I wanted to buy land here also. And he said, how much is it? But I can't afford that. I don't have that kind of money. The guy said, look, the landowner is a very nice gentleman. He is taking the payment in installments. He just wants it to be regular. So every month, make sure you're paying. He told me if I exactly the part of Lagos, where the landlord lived. It was not far from a building called Kalakuta Republic. Okay, and that was where one of the most famous musicians from Nigeria lived, the land Kulapo Kuti. So Friday nights, he said every Friday night they would go, to watch a musical show. And then he would just walk to the house of the landowner and give him the installment for the month. He said, for me to understand how remote the place was, there was a day he tried to go to look at the land himself, and he was lost. He could not locate the way to the land. It was in the bush. So he said he was paying consistently like that every month. And one day, he took the money there, and the landowner said, what is this for? And he said, my payment, my regular payment. The man said, when you paid last month, you had completed your payment. He wasn't even keeping track himself. Fast forward many years later, decades later, he was retired all of a sudden. And by now, he had built on the land, okay, a semi-detached, building. So you have two mansions joined together, 5 bedrooms each. And he had tenants in the two of them. Okay, so the airline that he was working for was owned by the government. So they actually had staff quarters, so he had official accommodation. He didn't need to pay rent. And he was busy earning, the rent from the buildings. So when he was sacked, he just gave notice to one of the tenants. When their rent expired, they got out. He moved into the house. Renovated it, moved in to one part of the two houses. That part of the city was now fully developed. The value very high. Okay, but where am I going? That whole experience of investing, was prompted by a friend. Honestly, your association to a large extent can determine whether you'll be someone whose net worth is appreciating or depreciating. It's very important.